Hi, welcome to southern Utah, northern Arizona, the Glen Canyon Dam. So you'll notice some of this should be familiar if you have ever been down to Lake Powell, or if you've ever gone on a family drive down to Phoenix or something. So the Glen Canyon Dam is right ahead of us. Page, Arizona, I've spelled it incorrectly, sorry, is directly in front of us. Lake Powell is that way in Utah. And then the Colorado River is to the left. So the dam blocks off the Colorado River to make Lake Powell, and the Colorado River supplies water to Lake Arizona, southern California. Lots and lots of people depend on the water that's directly ahead of us. We used to visit down here a lot when I was a little kid. There's the visitor center just off to the left there. You'll see the parking lot where your family would park and everything. Now it's time to do a little bit of what we can do in a simulator, but not real life. Let's go fly under the bridge. I think that's just fun. And just imagine if you were John Powell and you were exploring the Colorado River, coming down here in a boat, a small boat, so you could explore, see where it goes. Lake Powell is named after him. At this point, I noticed that I need a little bit of altitude. I'd like to fly across rather than through the canyon the whole way, so I'm going to climb. I just love the view as we kind of climb up. I can see we're about ground level now. It's just so much fun. I think the desert is beautiful. So our target field is just a little bit beyond the words that you see there. But I want you to take some time and just look at the land features, okay? All of those canyons were carved by water flowing and by erosion, just natural forces. So think of something in water. I mean, we're made out of water. We drink water. But over all of those years, it's able to eat through the stone and rock, and it's able to carve these gorgeous canyons. It's like natural art. I just enjoy it so much. You may recognize the soundtrack from Mario Kart. A little something to try to spice up our flights over longer distances, so I just speed up the camera a little bit. But yeah, I enjoy it. Mario Kart, I had a friend, Brent, and we would play his original Nintendo, Super Nintendo. and we'd play Mario Kart and a Super Nintendo, and I thought that was just the bee's knees. Back when I was in elementary school, I was like, oh, what, like 9 or 10 years old. It was awesome. And we're coming up on kind of a cliff edge, and I just love as we come over these, just getting to see. It's kind of like a reveal of the rest of the valley here. It's just, see, look at that! Isn't that cool? Now you can see, using our navigation aid, you can see there's a dot right in front of us, and then a little bit off to the left. Or sorry, to the right. The one on the right, that's the one we're going to. Second star on the right, straight on down the right. You'll notice a little bit of chop there, a little bit of unstable flying. Yeah, I'm still getting used to the this new helicopter, and I took all of the stabilization and navigation stuff off. So yeah, I'm a little bumpy, and especially when I've got the camera sped up, it makes us a little seasick or airsick. Just as we're flying down here, I would love to bring my Jeep down here, my kids and my wife, and just like explore. Can you imagine just like going up and down the dunes and you know, through the different little canyons, and seeing what you can climb, see if you can get up to the top of those mesas over there. It's just cool. Alright, time for another turbo boost. And here we go. Okay, we're gonna come right up over this mesa here, and then we're gonna have another one of those, you know, reveals. It'll reveal our approach to our landing field, and then I'll get us set up for landing. Alright, now let's go ahead. We're going to line up with the runways, that dot ahead of us. That's going to be our landing field. Not really a runway, it's more of a dirt field. So we'll get a nice straight line in there. At this point, I want to be going about 60 knots, a little bit faster than 60 miles an hour. I'm going to do some final adjustments. Now I'm going to pull the nose up just a little bit. Remember, as I pull the nose up, and I'm going to let the collective down. That'll slow me down a little bit. So if you keep an eye on our speed there, you'll see we're slowing down. I want to keep it pretty controlled. I'm using my pedals also to keep us in line with the runway. I'm going to pull up the nose just a little bit more, dump off a little bit more speed. Now our collective is going down. That'll help us drop closer to the ground. And right about here, I'm going to start pulling up on the collective more. That'll really cushion us and give us a nice soft landing. Nose all the way up, bring us to a complete stop. And down. There we go. A little bit of a bounce, but I'm not a professional. All right, now I'm going to put collective all the way to the floor. And I'm going to use a checklist, because in helicopters you always use a checklist for like your pre-flight inspection, your post-flight inspection, how to start and stop the helicopter. So I'm just going to go through the checklist here and make sure that I get everything done precisely. So even professional helicopter pilots who have been doing this for years and years and years still follow the checklist every single time, because sometimes even the best people make little tiny mistakes. So we go through step by step. And you can also take that as a good lesson for schooling. Just make a list. Checklists are amazing so that you can make sure that you're getting everything done. So you'll just see the item will be there on the checklist on the left. And then you'll see me search to try to find it, the switch or whatever I'm supposed to turn off. And I'll turn it off, check it off, and move on to the next. All right, let's go ahead. Our throttle all the way off. I'm checking. All of our warning lights are up like they're supposed to be. I'm monitoring the engine torque. I'm monitoring the velocity of the blades. I'm trying to use my rotor brake there a little bit. It's like if you ever had like a big wheel and you pull the brake with your hand and it like pushes down on the back tire and slows you down. That's what a rotor brake is. And I'm switching everything off. I did speed it up a little bit because it takes some time. So in real life, I am not that fast. If you've ever met me, I'm a very slow moving person. So there I'm applying that rotor blade just a little bit more, trying to get the rotors to stop. Well, thanks for joining us for this flight from the Glen Canyon Dam here to the Cliff Dweller Lodge runway. And we went from being right close to the border, Utah-Arizona border, to now we're a little bit further down into Arizona. It's been a beautiful flight. I love being able to bring you guys along, and have a nice day.